welcome back to the channel. So announcements from two companies I invested in today, AS2 Ascari Metals and Global Lithium. So we'll start with Ascari Metals. So they've done this ASTA thing, which don't know how, but it reads what's in the ground, I think through thermal imaging. Could be wrong, don't really care, but they've flown it over. This is GL1's resource here, which is 10 million tons inferred and growing. They're actually drilling it out more as we speak to probably uncover more lithium and just be more sure that it is actually there in what amount that they think it is. So those who don't know, inferred is like, yeah, it's probably there, and indicated is where they drill it so many times that it meets a standard to say it is there. So anyway, they've done this ASTA thing, which look up ASTA if you don't know what it means. Can't really explain it, but so they think they're going to have good amounts of lithium here, going off what that says, but they yet to drill it. They still have to go drill it, etc., etc. So it looks pretty good. It's a good announcement, and yes. So these companies might dilly-dally around in price, go up and down, pretty much until they get enough lithium, and day by day those prices will just go bananas if they're going to get it out of the ground and they find a good amount. Sorry, I probably didn't say that very well, but anyway, so that's the main point today is, and then that's another question, like, who will acquire this land here? If anyone knows that, please let me know. I'd like to see if anyone actually has acquired that, or is just sitting there waiting to be acquired, because it looks pretty good. So why hasn't someone acquired it? Ascari, and will Ascari just get this bit of land here as well? Why wouldn't they? Who knows? But they have geologists who probably know more than you and me about it, and they're probably thinking, if we can get it, we'll get it. So let's leave it up to them. You just put the money in, you either lose it or they go well and you make it. So what else can I say? GL1, what announcements do they have? A main resource on this one. So got another project in West Australia near Kalgoorlie. Could go well for them as well. So obviously they didn't just buy this little project for fun and games. They probably had a good think about buying it. Yeah, so we'll leave it with them to uncover the resource if there is one there, spending the least amount of money possible. So they employed a head geology. Look at that, he's probably had 15 years experience or something, 16 years. So they appoint a guy who knows what he's doing, etc., etc. Dun, 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 dun. So their resource down here seems to match up with the one up north, pretty similar in size so far. So it's good for GL1, and Ascari could be hot on their toes depending what they do. Ascari also have a lot of other little lithium projects that could go well as well. The main one I like is probably the reason I like the ones in the Pilbara is because we have Pilbara Minerals, who is over here somewhere. You can see Pilbara Minerals, 10 million. They have like a 300 million ton resource. Take a few million tons, but they have a massive resource. $10 billion company. So Ascari is like a $20 million company because they don't have an inferred resource yet, though they could do soon, which could see some X's on that 20 million. And GL1 is approximately a $200 million company, so there are a lot of X's there. If they get anywhere close to Pilbara, they could see a lot of X's, as I think hard rock is going to be the best way to get most of the lithium for the near future. These players don't have hydroelectricity, as some players in the hard rock space do overseas, though they can get solar and stuff like that and reduce their carbon footprint, as Pilbara Minerals has done also. They've got a solar plant there to reduce the amount of diesel they use, which is also good because diesel is going up a lot in price. And yeah, so that's the thing. I'm not too worried about the price. The price is probably going to go up and down, but until the price gets to 1 billion for GL1, which is my goal for the money I've got in there, I mean, which is my market cap goal, although maybe a 5x on share price, I don't know. Could happen, could not happen, but that's what I think will happen if they just keep drilling, keep finding lithium, good amounts, and eventually build the mine. They could end up like CXO, who's a $1.35 billion company. So time will tell if they do it or don't. But my money is in there and saying they will. And today in the car I was also listening to, I'm going to jump all over the place, the guy from this company, Newvermont. I think this means New World Graphite in English. And they're like lithium. So we didn't need all this lithium so many years ago. And now the batteries are coming along. We do need it. Same as graphite. We didn't need so much graphite years ago, but now the batteries are coming along. We do need it. There was a bit of scare from QuantumScape saying, "Oh, we can get rid of graphite," but by the time they do that, their goals, it looks like Tesla will be using graphite and will be making a battery superior to theirs in cost and performance. So, and there's apparently, according to this guy, $3 trillion worth of battery factories going up around the world that are making batteries that use graphite. So graphite isn't going nowhere. And then there's the fact of natural and synthetic graphite, but it seems to me like we'll need both natural and synthetic. And these guys, I wouldn't buy into them because they're already a growing company, but I will be on the lookout for good graphite players around the world. I made good money on Novonix, who was a synthetic graphite play, who seems to have the brains as well, because they have like a $3 billion market cap, give or take, compared to these guys, whose numbers from their operations look around the same, though maybe there's hype behind Novonix, I don't know. So we'll be on the lookout, and don't say R and U because I'm aware of them. I will be on the lookout for maybe some good graphite company, and we'll see what happens. Plan is to buy before any hype comes in. Know the story. Check it 3 times over. And yeah, also remember capex will kill your company's share price. Well, not really kill it, but diminish your X's on there. So these lithium plays, they can spend $100 million to $200 million on the mine. Well, probably that's what CXO spent, but they're close to the city. So GL1 might have to spend a bit more, and they're gonna have a more like trucking costs, more transport costs, stuff like that. But relatively low cost just to get the spodumene out of the ground and sell it to China, which is why these players are quite good because they don't have to raise a lot of money, which will diminish the share price or the multiples it will multiply by. So remember that capex, always there's so many factors you have to check. The more capex, debt cost, um, are they a low cost producer? Because if they're not low cost producer, then what happens when all these other players catch up? They can't make money because all the other players are selling it much less than them, and no one buys their thing, etc., etc. So you have to check everything, check against its peers to know what's best. So any companies you like in the comments below. Another company which doesn't have any hype behind it, in my opinion, is this Matza one, which who knows, they could uncover a big lithium resource in Thailand, or maybe they'll just dwindle away. But if you watch my past videos on them, they're going to sell these mines they have, or sell off half this mine they have in another mine, and get about $20 million in cash, which they're trading for about 20 million now. Also have to check the AS2 for the correct market cap, because that Google one is wrong. So always do that, because it's a bit different. Sometimes it's way different. So their neighbor is an $80 million company, which is a 4x on them. So they're obviously behind their neighbor in drilling and stuff, but they could catch up in some time. And if they find what the neighbors found, they will reap the rewards, and you could see a good multiple on your money. But it is risky. So always ask, why am I going to make money? What are the risks? Am I happy to lose this money? If it goes down 20% and I'm going to be afraid, or I'm going to say no, I'll keep it in there. So just always have a plan before you buy in and know what to expect. I don't know. That's it for this video. So keep subscribe, keep liking, and I'll bring you anything I find. So I make these videos for myself also, because talking about these companies makes me learn about these companies. So stay tuned, and I'll bring you anything I find that is quite interesting, quite good compared to any peers. And that's it.